I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Stump The Guru Show. My name is Ari Gelber, and I specialize in trust-based selling and trust-based communication for the last 20, 25 years. I've been in this niche, helping business owners, entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs to accelerate the growth of their business in a different way by focusing on trust infused across their whole business. And this show really is about allowing people to jump on live, ask me a question where they're stuck, give them some insights to help them along the way. If you're new to our show, welcome. If you don't have any of my 7 books yet or want to try one of them to learn more about what we do, just go to unlockthegame.com and grab a copy there to get a sense of our approach, our philosophy. It's very contrarian, very different than everybody else. And I hope you're going to enjoy the show for those who are jumping on to ask a question or listen in. We also have with me today our partner, Sam, who's always here with us, where we kind of riff off of different topics once we finish the questions that might be coming in live. And I want to kind of theme today the topic around this concept that many business owners still believe they have to keep doing in their sales process, which is educating people, providing information. There's a sort of deep sense that experts have to prove themselves by displaying their knowledge, and knowledge is conveyed through education, and education is information. Now, the key big idea here is that education and information has been officially commoditized, right? It's everywhere. It's online. It's on YouTube. It's just you all know that we're in a commoditized world now with information. So if you're still in your sales process, attempting to educate, provide information around your solution in your conversations, you are killing your opportunities. And you're extending the time frame in which they can hire you, and time kills all deals. And so I wanted to elevate that concept to you today to begin to ask yourself, are you over-educating? Are you providing free consulting? Are you filling in the gaps with your expertise because you feel you have to prove to your prospects that you know your stuff? Because here's the irony of all this. I discovered that your potential clients, they may say to you, I want information, but the first question they have to answer themselves in the back of their mind is, can I trust this person to work with him and understand my problem? They're not questioning your efficacy because they can't judge your competency until after they're a client, not before they're a client. So you're attempting to prove yourself and talk about your services, and your expertise can be perceived as persuasion, as convincing them. When they feel like they're being convinced, the walls of distrust go up, they shut down, and they ultimately say this to you: thank you so much, I'd like to think about it. So consider shifting and replacing and removing this idea that you feel obligated to educate your prospects about your solution and what you do, to instead do a much deeper dive, what I call going down the iceberg, around their problems. Stay inside their problem world. Be problem-centric, not solution-centric. I don't mean just ask a few questions, qualify them, assess the problem, move on. I'm talking about peeling back the onion, the layers of the issues at a much deeper level you never had before. And I talk about that in my new book called Trust in a Split Second. Grab a copy of that. It'll give you more insights. Okay? On that note, we'll see who we have back here. We're on a tight time frame. So, Steve, who's back there for us today? I can't hear your audio, Steve. But it's okay. Why don't you put us on to the next person, and hopefully that person can get through to us. Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you? Nice to meet you. If you wouldn't mind, maybe introduce yourself. Let us know what you do and your question.
Sure. My name is Gregory Hill. I'm a financial advisor. I've been in the business for 25 plus years, worked at every wirehouse there is. Now I'm independent in a sense. I mean, I have a franchise and, to the extent I can be. And I built the business like you've suggested. Actually, I followed kind of those rules. I mean, early on, I did the same thing everybody does, right? But now, my kind of question for you is a little bit different than, oh, gee, I can't get through the door, like the gatekeeper. I want to talk to this guy. What happens when you have a client? I have two different ones. One I know the guy for 25 years, maybe longer. I don't know. He's a great client. In fact, he's selling his business. We talked about all these things, lots of trust, went to his house, spent the night, all that sort of thing, had dinner with him. And then one day he just calls me and says, I got to make a change. That words exactly. I got to make a change. I go, okay, fine. What? Well, I just listened to a guy on the radio, sort of like you, and said, I went over there and met me on a Sunday. And yeah, I'm just going to move everything over to him. Just like that. I said, well, okay, that's fine. I mean, I'll help you in that process. You're still my friend. Don't worry about it. He said, I'm so glad you. And then later he even called me up. In fact, he gave me a 5-star review on the way out the door. But he just left. I cannot for the life of me. And I sort of prodded him a little bit. Well, can you tell me what I did wrong here? Because I want to do better for the next guy. No, you're fine. He just disappeared.
Yeah. So the question we have to ask him or eventually know from him is, what is the problem that he believes is not being solved right now for him that he believes someone else can solve? That's the real question we got to find out, not whether he liked you or not, or your friends. What is the issue, the gap that he feels you can't solve for him? That's what you need to find out. Do you know, or?
Yeah, no, I don't know. And I have a suspicion that he wants to move out of the area. He wants to sell his business and a lot of things. And so,
well, you don't know the truth, right?
I don't know the truth. In fact, he's really not going to share with me. That's the one. And then I have a similar one. Maybe there's a pattern here I'd like to figure out.
Sure.
Another client, she kind of walk in the door kind of client. She had, it's pretty good size. It's probably about a couple $1 million. Nothing wrong with that. Long conversations with her. Got to know her very well on a kind of a personal level. We would talk on the phone. She's so happy to have conversations with me. Very little conversation about her financial needs, just about other things, right?
Wait, is she already a client of yours or not yet?
She was, and then she just cut me off 100%. She just, in fact, I said, we're about to do a transaction for her. I just want to check in with you. Everything's still okay. She said, terse text message, don't do it. Don't do anything. Next thing I find out the next week, she's moved out. She just moved her stuff. I called her 3 times. Hey, I just wanted to talk to you. I want to make sure everything's okay. Nothing. Silence. And I almost feel like driving up to her house, knocking on the door. Are you still all right? All
right. So let me give you some languaging, first of all, to help you get to the truth of people. So you know where you stand. Because I know right now you feel kind of gutted because these people disappeared on you and you don't know why.
Right.
So one thing you can do from now on, if you sense this happening or it's happening, is you can say, say the guy's name, John. John, if you'd be open to it, I would love your feedback on what you believe is missing that I haven't provided you or you need to have solved. Would you be open to that? The word feedback is important because it's not has any sting to it at all, but it elicits the truth, because your goal right now is to get the truth of these people as to why they're exiting. Now, the other thing I did notice kind of a slight theme across both scenarios. And I know it'd be kind of strange to hear this, but I think you're a good-hearted guy, and I think you give your full self to these people to such extent. You're like becoming their friends, right? Like you're almost like their peer, like part of the family. You slept over, you had dinner at the house. There has to be a little bit of distance between you and your clients, my friend, because if you become too friendly with them and too social with them, here's what happens. You lose your authority that you had originally, and then you become just a peer and no longer as respected as someone else who's new, who comes out of nowhere and says, hey, he must be great. He's got a radio show. Oh, I should go with him. I like him. He's a nice guy, but he seems like he's an authority. So you have to be careful to kind of gauge. It's like a doctor and a patient. Doctors are careful not to get too overly friendly with their patients because then they can't ask the hard questions and get to the truth with them. So let's
Right.
talk about this offline. I think we're going to talk soon about this, and let's kind of unpack it because I think sharpening up that piece of the puzzle and then tightening up your model might solve the problem. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good ideas. Yeah.
I really appreciate your openness and sharing that, and we can work on this. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. We're back to the Stump The Guru show. Welcome. If you're just jumping in live, we have folks from all over the world who are in the green room to ask me a question. But you'll notice the themes that I'm sharing, you're hearing today around trust and getting to the truth with people, not having them playing games with you. A lot of that is sort of the theme of what we help entrepreneurs, advisors do in their process, to be careful not to cross the boundaries where they can be taken advantage of. And that's where trust can be broken very quickly. So the question is, how do you contain and keep that trust pre and post sale? And that's what my book's all about, Trust in a Split Second. So let's see. We'll grab the next person in. See if we can't hear you yet, just send the next person
over. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
We can. Yes.
See the magic. My voice.
That reminds me of the old AT&T commercial. Can you hear me now? Yes,
that's
I can.
Right.
Hear you.
God, I remember. Sadly, I'm old enough to remember that. I don't want to remember that, but I sadly do.
I know.
Who's Derek on? Right? Hey, Derek, how you been, man? If you could let everybody know a little bit about you for point of reference for those that are new to meeting you, and then your question for Ari, please.
Hey, Ari, good to see you.
Hey, good, Derek.
Hey, my name is Derek. So I'm in the environmental health and safety space. So I've got a question for you, Ari, and kind of along the themes of, from being problem-centric versus solution-centric. So the company I'm working for has been a long time solution-centric, but we're trying to change that to go into more problem-centric. What I'm trying to do is I'm in a bit of an interesting situation. I'm trying to find opportunities where the industry that I'm in, people switch companies. They love the software. They're like, oh, I used your software at a previous company, and I want to champion it here. And so I've been building out a bit of a list to find people that have moved different companies. So the problem is I don't know what challenges we resolved at their previous company. And so I'm trying to find a bit of languaging how I can approach, these people to say, hey, I know you were at this previous company. Now you're over here. You used their software, and kind of facilitate that conversation to see if we might be able to help them at their new company.
Right. I see what you're saying. So that's smart of you to try and start the dialogue around the issues as opposed to our software. So I think what you're missing is some languaging, Derek, to be able to connect both together. So what you can probably say is, introduce yourself, obviously, and explain that you're just getting some feedback and doing a brief survey on how our users used our tool and what specific issues did it solve for them. Assuming they didn't have it, what would they have to do? So would you be open to sharing some of your thoughts about how you used it, what the issues were that it helped you solve? And just some of the benefits of it? It would be great if you'd be open to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, assuming that they liked your tool, they used it, I can't imagine them not sharing that with you, because it's a very neutral. You're not asking them to buy it. You're just saying, I'd love your feedback on that.
Okay.
And then you can move to, thank you so much. That's been really helpful. I appreciate that. Do you know if your organization would be open to something like this, or do you have the current issues internally there where this could possibly solve?
I get it. Yeah, it's a nice bridge. I like that. So
yeah,
just along that kind of that same theme.
Sure.
When we talk about again, problem and solution centric, typically on the one call sale, what I'm finding, Ari, is a lot of times a prospect, potential client will go right into the solution. So where, for example, I might ask them the question, if you're okay with it, could We take a little bit of a step back, talk about your current situation, what you're working on, the challenges you are. And right away, their answer will be, well, we got this software. It's not working too well. And then I start asking, well, how is that impacting the business? Well, we can't get the proper reports and things like that. So it's almost like a tug of war where you have to get into the business itself. And they keep talking about the software.
All right, so freeze right there.
Okay.
Freeze. Okay, this is good, Derek. This is a classic scenario where your prospect has their head in the solution.
Yeah.
At hello.
Yes.
So I think what you got to do is zoom out even further with someone like this. You got to say, if you wouldn't mind, take a step back for a moment. Don't talk about the software problems. Can you walk me through a bit about your business model in general? Help me understand how your business model works. Then let's drill down to the issues that you have. Then we'll see where we can go from there. So I think you were too close to the solution piece of it. Start with how the business operates, which would then help you identify what the problems would be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So like we start with, if it's okay with you, take a step back for a moment, walk me through your background, your situation, up through your current business model. Model means they have to kind of walk through how their business works or how his group works. What's the process? What's the conveyor belt in his department of how he moves work forward? That's a big picture. Then you can help him zoom in on, okay, walk me through now the issues that you have around this that you want this to solve.
Great. Okay.
So it's more of a zoom out than getting stuck in that zoom in at first.
Right. Makes sense.
Awesome. Great question. All right, Derek. We'll see you next time.
Okay. See you. Thanks.
All right. We're back to Stump the Guru. So very interesting questions from all different angles. And these are all complex issues that are not solved easily by finding a video online and searching for the query on Google. This requires a conversation, a dialogue, context, things that are missing these days. And that's what we do here at Unlock the Game, is to help business owners figure out the complexities on, especially for low volume, high margin businesses, how to compress a sales cycle, how to get to the truth fast versus playing the numbers game, chasing leads, and being taken advantage of. And that's really where the world's come to now in terms of commoditization, which we might talk about later on today. I think we have one more back there, don't we? Or two more, Steve?
Absolutely. I'm going to bring on Jerry. He sorted out his tech. He's live and in Memorex. There's another old one for you, Ari. Live and in Memorex. I mean, I don't know why we were in Memorex when they were tapes, but I digress. All right, Jerry, you're up. If you could let everybody know a little bit about yourself and your question for Ari, please.
Your sound, Jerry, I think is off for some reason. Might want to check your mute button or something on your end. I don't hear it coming through. Still can't hear you. Can you hear him, Steve? I don't think you can. Yeah, your sound for some reason is not quite coming through. So what I might do while you're working on that is you might jump over to Sam. I think he's back there, and then Steve, can you connect with him separately?
Yeah, I'm gonna give Jerry a moment to sort it out. Jerry, just so you know, if you flick that little hard switch on the side of your phone, that will often bring the volume in the microphone back on. But we'll give him a minute.
He's having a hard time even hearing us, looks like. He's got his ear against the microphone. Okay.
We'll bring on
I'll let you work it out.
All right. Hey, Sam, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, Steve.
One thing, before Sam talks, I want to say one thing to the universe. Sure. Everybody, because Ari won't say it and I will. Let's take a moment and drink this in for a second, folks. First of all, we have a beautiful headshot of Ari. He's had some new beautiful photos taken. And more importantly, Australian Small Business Champion Awards. Ari was thankfully nominated for all of his hard work over the years. And it's one of those things where he'll never say it himself. So I will say it to everybody listening. It's a great moment of effort that Ari's put in over the last 20 years plus of his career. And it's just great to see these moments are starting to take place as they should.
Looks like you cut out. But I'll kind of finish where he was going, and I'll share with you all who are listening in, all of our followers, a little bit about what I've been up to. Yeah, so I was nominated for the National Australian Business Awards as the finalist in the business coaching category. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, we do have a kind of a new brand, new image coming out soon. a new opening, expanding our business. I'm also been invited to speak at the UCLA Anderson Business School in Los Angeles, come back next couple of weeks at their CEO forum to share my insights about the trust recession that we're in right now, and at a global level, how to unpack that and grow your business even during these times right now. So a lot of you know me at the tactical level around just the languaging and selling, but what you don't know about me is I do a lot of work with CEOs and large organizations about major cultural shifts in their whole organization across all their people. Because if you know my work well enough, you know it's about trust-based communication, not just selling itself. And communication around trust applies to every nook and cranny of your organization, your business, from advertising to team building, to onboarding clients, to keeping them with you. And so we're doing a lot more consulting work around that topic in a larger way. So if you are someone listening right now and you are in a space where you now are figuring out how to grow your business, we act often as a growth advisory firm to the whole organization at a larger scale. But anyways, on that note, we're here with Sam. Sam is one of our business partners, and Sam and I like to riff off stuff, towards the end of the show. And I think we talked earlier, Sam, about this whole notion of commoditization and how you are seeing a lot of this on your conversations too with our potential clients and clients. What are you hearing out there?
Yeah, look, absolutely, Ari. I see it a lot, and with my clients and their clients' clients, I see a bit of a trend, and that's become quite evident. It's come to the surface a lot more, and it's around this issue, and perhaps commoditization is part of it, but around this issue of indecisiveness, where people seem to have difficulty making decisions. But I'm not talking about the general, just the general decision. I'm talking about a decision that the path or the way out is very crystal clear. There's good ROI. It's very evident that the solution matches the problem. They own it. They're on board in some respects, but they just can't pull the trigger. And I was just wondering if you can give me some insights around that and what your thoughts are, if you're seeing it, or what your thoughts are around it.
I am seeing more and more of a lag when I'm speaking with the owners of businesses where their problem is crystal clear and they admit, yes, I have this problem, and yes, I'm losing this amount of money every month because of it. And then we walk them through a roadmap to fix it. It's as clear as day. It's the answer. And the investment to fix it is a fraction of the overall loss.
Yeah.
So at an intellectual business case level, not to do this seems absolutely ridiculous. But there's a sense of hesitancy, of fear, of self-reliance on their own confidence level, especially people who have partners. They have to go to their partners, get approval first,
Yes.
get consensus, kumbaya meeting first. It's like, and I'm not suggesting they have to pull the trigger early, but I'm suggesting, why are they hesitant to just admit and say, you're right, we need this? I don't say they have to kind of order it, but they can talk to them. They can at least say that, like when I'm presented with a situation that's crystal clear, I'll just say, let's just fix this thing and move on. But I think what's happened out there is the world has become much more fragmented. That we're in a trust recession right now with less trust at all levels of society. And I think that the market, potential clients, consumers, prospects are now reversing the buying model where they're shopping experts. No longer are the experts in control or feel in control, but they're being shopped and they're taking bullets and they're under the gun. And that creates fear, fragmentation, and a lack of confidence in making decisions to fix their problems. And I think that's something that has to be reversed immediately, because that will ultimately break apart the ability to have a cohesive and clear executable plan to take action on. And so I'm seeing that as well, Sam.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I mean, I don't mind if it's yes or a no. I really, like, this is all about them. I mean, I'm doing okay. So, it's not an issue. And I feel sorry for people that have got to go talk to, you're right, their partners and all the rest of it. And here's the crazy part, is that person that might be, engaged with, they're on board, they see, and they almost got a little bit of powerless. They're like, they don't have the confidence to tell their
I
partner.
like that. You just said powerless.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing in a lot of our conversations with people. They feel powerless. If they have full control of their own world, it's like their own little economy they can control and they can fix. But somehow the outside forces beyond their control paralyzes them. And then they have to go ask permission from someone else to make it okay. You know, and we're all adults. We're all adults here. We're not children. And so we have to step up. We have to make decisions. I had a call with another expert who works in a consulting firm, and he's responsible for business development, for bringing opportunities in. And it's clear he's struggling, and he knows that we have the answer to solve this problem, and it's affordable for him. But what he said to me, oh, I need to go ask permission first from the elders here. Something like that. And I was like, well, why? It's your career. It's your business. If you don't succeed, they're going to let you go anyways. Just invest in this on your own credit card or your own. Why are you asking permission from somebody else for you to succeed? And he took a minute to think about that. And he said, yeah, you're right. I'm just used to asking everyone else permission first before I can do something around myself. I said, the world is going and shifting right now towards self-reliance. People, organizations who can make their own decisions within their control to fix their own problems versus having an entitlement mindset, waiting for something else just to happen, or all of us in the boat will sink or grow together, versus taking the helm and saying, let's do this. It seems so obvious, you know, like common sense kind of stuff, but it's creeping into the cultures of organizations. And what's happening is this: the time frame for them to make the decision is extending. Just like the sales cycle is extending. It's so weird how it's the same synchronous sort of concept, is that it's taking longer to make decisions from the client side and taking a lot of decisions from the buyer side. So our mission here is to collapse the cycle of time, because time kills all deals. And we're going to leave it on that, Sam. Let's see if any more comments you want to end up with.
No, I think what you said was perfect. I mean, the self-confidence is a lot of the times is the issue I'm seeing as well. And you're right. The longer things go, the worse it is. And people don't realize
I think every company now should make it their mission as its number one goal to compress time. Because time is the one asset that's diminishing. And if you're still doing your same business the way you're always doing it, and everything's taking a lot of time, you won't make it, because as you can see with technology, things are speeding up, compressing quickly. And if we can't as human beings do that, we're in trouble.
Absolutely. And problems over time get worse.
That's true. They fester and then become larger. They become unsolvable, and then the boats sink. So hopefully the message today from everyone who's here is listening to some great tips and ideas that I gave earlier, and also asking themselves, what can I do in my organization to help decisions be made faster and quicker, and to succeed in this new economy? So on that note, thanks for coming in. And everyone, thanks for joining the show today. And we'll be bringing more larger thoughts and global ideas to the show as we evolve and what we're doing here, and doing more global work around the world. On that note, take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.
I've come up with a way to totally eradicate this whole idea of rejection in sales. If it's over at hello, how the heck are you going to succeed in selling? You've got to rise above that and change your mindset.